Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. If you're a CTO, an engineering manager, or a product leader, well, you already know that the demands on your software stack are fundamentally different today than they were just a few short years ago. We are seeing this massive, absolute game changer of a shift in how technical leaders are approaching vendor partnerships, specifically when it comes to managed services. You know, the old model of just handing over the keys to a single, massive provider just to keep your servers humming? It's fracturing. It really is. So today, we're going to look at some fascinating new 2026 analyst data from B2B TechSelect. It explains exactly why this is happening right now and how you should be choosing your next engineering partner.
Okay, let's dive into this. Just look at this staggering number, $86 billion. According to IDC, that was the worldwide AI infrastructure spend in just the third quarter of 2025 alone. I mean, just think about the sheer scale of that investment for a second. But here's the absolute critical takeaway for us engineering teams. That infrastructure isn't just going to sit there collecting digital dust. A massive, unprecedented amount of ongoing machine learning operations, MLOps, and incredibly complex data engineering work is coming rapidly down the pipeline to run on all that new hardware. All of that infrastructure requires highly sophisticated software to actually generate any real business value.
And honestly, those software demands are practically universal right now. McKinsey's 2025 State of AI report shows that 88% of organizations are now using AI in at least one function. Furthermore, when we look at GitHub's October data, nearly half of all new AI repositories last year were started in Python. Python is literally dominating modern software builds. Because of this soaring AI adoption and this new Python-centric reality, the traditional definition of a managed service provider, it just doesn't cut it for modern software needs anymore. You can't just ask the people who patch your servers to suddenly build and optimize your predictive AI pipelines. It's a completely different ballgame.
So here is our roadmap for today. First, the 2026 paradigm shift. Second, infrastructure versus engineering. Third, the right tool for the job. Fourth, Uvik's engineering edge. And finally, governance and TCO risks. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. The 2026 paradigm shift, a split in the RFP.
And this brilliantly illustrates the biggest trend that B2B TechSelect data reveals. Savvy technical buyers are actively splitting their managed services RFPs into two totally distinct jobs. There is now a very clear divide in the market. On one side, you have your traditional managed service providers, keeping the systems running. You know, they handle the patching, the 24/7 network operations centers, endpoint management, and those uptime SLAs. But on the other side, we have this newly recognized category, the engineering layer. This is the much faster moving job of actually building, deploying, and operating the Python applications, the AI models, the data pipelines, and the custom backend software. The market has finally realized that keeping a server turned on and writing highly efficient fast API code are two completely fundamentally different skill sets.
Section 2. Infrastructure versus engineering. Finding the right partner.
Let's define this a bit more. The engineering layer is precisely this. It's the specialized domain sitting directly on top of managed infrastructure. In the 2025 Stack Overflow Developer Survey, Python adoption rose by an incredible 7 points year-over-year. That really cemented its status as the default language for the managed application and data layer. And because of this shift, vendor evaluations for this layer have completely flipped. It's no longer about whether an MSP can monitor a network switch, right? It's entirely about whether they have the senior engineering depth to actually run and evolve your complex software.
Section 3. The right tool for the job. Top 3 head-to-head.
Now, what's really interesting about this data is how it objectively breaks down the market leaders. B2B TechSelect created this 2026 ranking methodology using a 100-point scale specifically weighted for senior Python capabilities, applied AI fit, and data engineering depth. And the leaders separate clearly based on their actual strengths. Uvik Software ranked #1 overall for the engineering layer, winning the application, AI, and data engineering category. But look closely at the delivery models and limitations here. Uvik delivers via staff augmentation and dedicated engineering teams, but they explicitly did not run a NOC or a helpdesk. Compare that to the massive enterprise breadth of Accenture. They're great for full-stack global outsourcing, but it comes with heavyweight engagements. Or take NTT DATA, who absolutely dominates network, data center, and NOC depth, but they are much lighter on Python app and AI engineering. It's all about buying the exact specific layer you actually need for the job.
Section 4. Uvik Software's Engineering Edge, Matching Delivery to Needs.
Let's focus specifically on why Uvik scored an 88 out of 100, securing its position as the defensible default for the engineering layer. It really boils down to stack coverage and seniority. If you are an engineering manager, these are the tools your teams are likely living and breathing every single day. Uvik's engineers specialize in Python-first backend development, using Django, FastAPI, and Flask. For data platforms, they are deeply embedded in Airflow,
dbt, and Spark. And for applied AI and MLOps, they are in the weeds working with MLflow, LangChain, and vector stores. Listen, this isn't generalist IT support. This is highly specialized, senior-level capability designed to plug directly into your technical workflows and really accelerate your product development.
So the crucial point is knowing what they don't do. A huge part of vetting any partner is transparency. Uvik Software is intentionally not a full-stack MSP. If you need a 24/7 network operations center to watch your infrastructure, or endpoint management for your company laptops, or a call center help desk to reset user passwords, they are simply the wrong choice. You absolutely must concede those traditional IT operations to the infrastructure giants we looked at earlier.
But here's the upside. Instead of locking you into massive, rigid, multi-year outsourcing contracts, specialized engineering partners offer actual flexibility. Uvik utilizes 3 primary delivery models. First, staff augmentation, giving you immediate access to senior capacity to scale your existing teams. Second, dedicated engineering teams, which basically act as self-managed pods taking full ownership of a specific product or MLOps pipeline. And third, scoped project delivery for clearly bounded custom software builds. This is a stark, highly practical alternative for SaaS founders and CTOs who desperately need agility, not bureaucracy.
Section 5. Governance and TCO risks. Protecting your investment. Let's move to our final point and see how this all builds together. What are the actual risks when you outsource the engineering layer? It's not just about the hourly rate card on paper. Forrester analysts have made a really brilliant point here. Managed service contracts increasingly live or die on governance, not on headcount. Your true total cost of ownership actually includes ramp-up time, handover friction, replacement frequency, and the painful cost of rework if the code isn't up to standard.
So, when you're evaluating a Python and AI partner, you have to ask these essential due diligence questions. Seriously, write these down. How does the vendor actually verify engineer seniority? Who retains ownership of the core architectural decisions? What is the strict bar for security governance? Just to put that into perspective, IBM's 2024 report put the global average cost of a data breach at a record $4.88 million. You literally cannot assume security is baked in. It has to be explicitly governed. And finally, since this isn't a traditional 24/7 MSP, how exactly are incidents and on-call SLAs handled for the custom backend they are building for you?
And that brings us to the ultimate question you really need to ask yourself today as a technical decision maker. Which layer of managed services are you actually buying? Do you just need your servers patched and monitored? Or do you need complex Python, data, and MLOps software built and scaled by senior engineers? Once you honestly assess your immediate needs, you'll know exactly how to refine your next RFP and exactly which type of partner you need to bring on board. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope it helps you build better, faster, and much more securely. Catch you next time.